My people, Friday night, guys, I know a lot of you are probably getting ready to go out right now. Hit the bars, hit the clubs, do some fun shit. I'm going to stay home tonight, as I always do, in front of the charts. So I want to talk to you guys tonight. I always got something different for you. Tonight, I want to talk about the danger of out-the-money options. Now, out-the-money options, guys, if used correctly, they can be a lot of fun. But when we think about options and when we think about the problems that we have because we are human beings, one of the more difficult aspects of trading, guys, is knowing when to take profits. And it's that, that whole FOMO of being able to potentially make more. I've been there. You guys have surely been there. We get into a position where we get a nice gain on an option, but we're so tempted to hold on for more, right? You're up 50%, you want to see if you can hit 60. You're up 10%, you want to see if you can hit 20. It's just human nature. It's what we do, and this is why trading is so difficult. You're trying to fight against human nature. So one of the biggest problems that a lot of traders have, guys, is you're holding on for more. You don't know when to cut the cord. You don't know when to lock profits. And when it comes to trading these out-the-money options, it's a bad freaking idea. You are going to let so much, and I'm speaking from experience, I'm speaking from pain here, you are going to let so much money, guys, slip through your hands if you fall into that trap of always holding on for more. Now, me personally, and I've looked through my trades, right, I can confirm this, I have let hundreds and thousands of dollars of potential, open gains just slip right through my fucking hands, holding on for more. Now, guys, when it comes to these out-the-money options, there's a reason that holding on for more is such a bad idea, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video, so strap up and let's do it. All right, so I got my nice informal Word document here. You guys know how we do it. Out-the-money options, they're attractive to us because they offer the potential, right? And you'll see I got potential in red here. Potential for big returns. That potential for big returns, guys, right? Like anything in life, it doesn't come without risks. Now, the risks of these out-the-money options that you're hoping are going to go up 100%, 200%, 300%, right? And they absolutely can. But the risk of those bad boys is that the out-the-money options, guys, especially if we're talking about, say, the day of expiration, which applies to this example, they're a ticking time bomb. What I mean is that to the extent your option remains out the money, whatever kind of value it might gain at the open, whatever kind of value it might gain during the session, right? It's a lot of smoke and mirrors. It's kind of fake. It's fake value. Ultimately, if your option closes and it is still out the money, what happened all day, what happened at the open, what happened all week, doesn't matter. Those things are going to zero. And this is where the problems get created. Traders jump into out the money options. They have a good open gain, but they hold on for more. Now, if your option is still out the money and your ass is holding on for more, you need to be mentally prepared to wave bye-bye to your open profits. So plain English, guys, holding on for more profits with out the money options is a risky game, especially on the day of expiration. And as I mentioned, that desire for more, holding on for extra gains, right? You think it can go up another 20, 30, 40, whatever the fuck. You're going to let a lot of profits slip through your hands, guys. Now, my trade that we're going to break down here, I jumped into Roku puts yesterday at 34 cents. I closed them this morning at 89 cents for 160% return. Now, I don't know about y'all. I don't need much more than 160% return, but we are humans. We do stupid things when money's involved. We tend to find ourselves holding on for more. Now, guys, let's just assume, right, and we're going to come back to these numbers in a minute. Let's assume that you took this trade with me. Let's assume you had a $100 position size. Your 160% return is going to bank you $160. Now, let's look at NVIDIA, right? The option I bought, guys, was the 100 strike puts. So what do we know about that? Regardless of what NVIDIA did today, how much it dropped, how much it gapped down, all of that good shit, if it closes above 100, it could be $100.05, $100.10. If it closes above 100, it's the golden rule of options. That 100 put is going to expire worthless. So first, let's take a look at Roku stock. All right, now we look at Roku today, guys. Now to give you a quick little breakdown into this trade, we in the group yesterday during the live stream, we were looking for a breakdown beneath 105. Now that opportunity never presented itself, so we practiced patience. We didn't jump into a trade that wasn't there. But what I did do was go short, jumping into those 100 strike puts, guys, at this rejection here yesterday underneath 110, right around 12 o'clock or so when the ES started to break below its key 30-30 level. If you're in the Focus Trades group, you know exactly what your boy's talking about. So that was the entry, okay? I go short yesterday, right when the stock is at about 109.50-ish, into the 100 strike puts. Now this morning, if we take a look, guys, at Roku, clearly we gapped down, right? We gapped down to the tune of 2-3% or so. We open up underneath 105. Now, ultimately, the stock made a bigger move to the downside. However, and this is what's most important when it comes to the out the monies, where did Roku close? Roku closed at 102 today. So what does that mean for my 100 strike put? No matter how much I paid for it, no matter how much it was worth when we gapped down, no matter how much it was worth when Roku was actually under 100 today, they expired worthless. And I'll show you guys the chain here, and you guys already know this shit. The hundreds go to nada. So, a big gap down. At one point, it's going under 100, right? The move you're looking for happens, and your option expires worthless, guys. And it's just a golden rule. If your option closes out the money on the day of expiration, it's going to zero. I know you guys understand this, but this discussion, guys, is more about the mindset and the problems that we can create for ourselves holding on for more. A lot of it is smoke and mirrors. That more you're holding on for is likely to completely vanish unless your option expires in the money. So I showed you the Roku chart here, right? Now I want to show you guys another chart. And this will really drive this home. So let me see, guys, if I can do this. Hold on one second. So we got our chart of Roku. And now what we've got here, guys, is a chart of the actual put. So this is the chart for the 100 strike put on Roku that expired today. And as we can see, it expired at 0 because Roku closed above 100. Simple stuff there, guys, right? Now let's look at the chart of this option itself. So I take my position yesterday right around 34 cents, around 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And what I want to show you guys here is today's price action. So we're going to look at today. And this is going to lead us into the discussion here, guys, about the danger of holding on for more. So here is today's price action for this Roku put. Right now, remember, I bought these bad boys at 34 cents. We gapped down this morning, or Roku stock gaps down rather. So obviously, guys, those puts are going to gain a lot of value at the open. But we didn't gap below 100, right? So it's all bullshit. It's only temporary value. We know these things are going to zero at some point, but this is the trouble that we run into. So what I did this morning, guys, right, is let's see. We open up here today. These things open at $1.30, and they quickly begin to fade. So now think about this, right? Me coming into the day, I understood the risk of these things. Regardless if they're $1, $1.80, $5, whatever the fuck they are at the open, they're going to zero. So as long as Roku is holding above 100, cool, the options are gaining value, but it's not going to last. You're holding a ticking time bomb that is on its way to going to zero. So we look at the options here today, guys, and let me get rid of that little guy. Right, they open up, they quickly spike, guys, to $1.80 or so, and then immediately the price begins to drop quickly on those puts. So now think about the emotions here, right? You wake up, oh my God, I'm up 200, 300, 400%, and then that quickly disappears, right? It quickly fades on in. Now what do? What most traders do, guys, and this is where you go wrong, is you get caught up now in that game of, let me hold on for more. Right? Maybe Roku can drop below 100 today. If it does, these puts are going to XYZ. Look at the volatility of these puts, guys. They open up $1.50, $1.60. They quickly lose a lot of value. They quickly lose half of their value. Now, at one point, early in the session, those puts actually dropped, guys, below my 34-cent entry. So from the open, they're up hundreds of percent. And very quickly, you are break even on the trade. Now, luckily, because I understand how these options work and I'm not trying to play this game, I lock them at 89 cents. Right? I'm taking it. I'm taking my 160%. I'm getting the fuck out of there. But think of the emotions, guys, if you're holding on for more. Right? The first question is, if you're going to sit here and hold on for more all day, are you actually going to sit through this drop where all of your open profit completely disappears? You go to break even, and then at one point, you are in the hole. Think of, right, the mind fuck this can be. You buy these things yesterday at 34 cents like I did. They open up at $1.50, $1.60. That quickly disappears. All of your open profit is vanishing. Now you're in the hole. All in the first 45 minutes. Imagine you're holding on for more now, right? Now, sure, guys, at one point they did rally again back to 150, and then they completely collapsed, right? And they rallied again back to 160, 170, 180, and then ultimately, as Roku was trading above 100, and as the close was approaching, what happens? They went to zero. Now, sure, we can look at this chart, and you can say, I would have held on there, and I would have gotten out right here. But, hindsight's a bitch. It's so easy to say what you would have done in hindsight. Think about the emotions of this. You buy them at 34 cents. They open up hundreds of percent in the green. That green quickly disappears if you're holding on for more. Then all of your open profit disappears, and then you're in the hole. Your 100, 200, 300% return in the first 45 minutes of the market turns into a negative position. Are you really going to hold through that? Right? Let's not fantasize here, guys. Let's not fool ourselves. Let's say you did hold on, right? Are you locking gains on the way up? All I'm trying to say, guys, is that you run the risk, as we saw right at the first 30, 40 minutes here, of all of your open profits on a killer return. 34 cents to $1 plus, guys. You don't need more than that. Come on now. But we hold on for more. All of that shit disappears. And all that premium disappears quickly because Roku was above 100. Now, here's the real painful thing, right? And if you guys can understand this, you're going to save yourself a lot of trouble. Let's just imagine that you got bullshit lucky and you held on and you actually sat there and watched your multiple 100% open profit quickly vanish, go to break even, go negative, and let's imagine you actually held on through that shit, right? Now let's imagine that you get lucky enough here to exit today at the absolute high. So instead of getting out at 89 cents like me, guys, let's go to Fantasyland and pretend that you held on for more and you got that perfect exit, right? You got the very top of the day and you got out at $1.80. Now, we know that's not very realistic, right? But even if that did happen, was that more worth it? Would your life have changed? Let's go take a look. Okay, right, so as I mentioned, I bought these things Thursday at 34 cents. I sold shortly after the open at 89 cents. I locked in my 160% return. And so you guys can understand this, right? Regardless of whatever account size you have, we're just going to use simple numbers here so it makes sense. If you put $100 into the trade that I took, you make $160. It's awesome. It's freaking awesome, right? Now, like I said, let's go back to Fantasyland. Let's imagine that you actually sat here, watched all of your open profits vanish, watch your position go zero, and your dumbass still held on. Now, let's imagine you got bullshit lucky enough to actually hold on all day through this volatility, and you actually exited at the very high, which again, we know wasn't going to happen, but just to drive the point home. If you held on to those Roku puts this morning for more, if you got more, guys, and if you got as good as it gets, you actually got to exit at $1.80, what good really would that have more have done you? Now, if we go back to the sheet here, right? Let's say you actually did buy them at 34 cents and you got bullshit lucky. You held on for more. You held through all that volatility, your position going negative, etc., and you actually got out at $1.80. That would have been a 430% return, and assuming the same $100 position size, you would have made $430. Now, in the moment, right, on paper, in your Instagram stories, that seems like a huge difference, right? It seems like, man, that was worth it. Holding on for more is such a good idea. But, right, mind you guys, these things went to zero. And again, we're assuming best case scenario here, being very unrealistic, saying you actually exited perfectly at the high, right? Now, if you can do that, then, I tip my hat to you, you fucking wizard. But most people, not going to be the case. Here's the harsh reality, though, guys. We hold on for more, not really realizing that if we get that more, it ain't going to change our lives, right? Assuming a $100 position size, if you took the exit I took, you made $160. If you sat through all that volatility, you got crazy lucky and you sold at the high, you made $430. You only made an extra $270 there. Now again, in the moment, on paper, it feels better, right? Seems like it was worth it. But here's what you got to ask yourself, guys, right? Regardless of your account size, just using these numbers here as a baseline, is it really worth the risk? What is that extra 160 to 460 would be 300 minus 30. What good is that extra $270 going to do you? You're telling me you're actually going to, one, waste away your precious life sitting here watching this shit all day. You're actually going to watch all of your open profits vanish at the open. Your ass is actually going to let that thing go negative. You're actually going to sit here all day, and then if you could nail it as good as it freaking gets, you're walking away with an extra whopping $270. Right? Now, are you picking up the phone and calling mama, telling her to quit her job, right? It's time to retire. You calling up Chevy, ordering the new Corvette, right? You taking the girlfriend on a vacation. What is the point? I want to remind you guys, if you're a small account trader, and let's just assume anything under 25,000 is a small account, your job isn't to get more. Your job isn't to sit through all that bullshit and try to crank out an extra 50, 100, 200 bucks. Your job is to take low risk, potentially high reward opportunities, following the big money, getting your piece, then getting the hell out of there, guys. It's all about financial compounding. One good trade after one good trade after one good trade. Then you pick your damn head up 6 months, 12 months later, and you've made some awesome progress. This whole game, right, falling victim to human nature, to that typical human mindset of greed and the fear of missing out for the potential of more, if you get your more, it ain't going to change your life. This Roku trade, guys, is a perfect example. At the end of the day, these things went $1.80 to 34 cents all over the place, and because we closed above 100, they went to zero. And again, assuming you actually nailed this perfectly, you actually were dumb enough to sit through all that shit and you nailed the top, you walked away with an extra 200, 250 bucks. The more that you guys are chasing, the more, right, that desire for more, that I promise you guys, speaking from experience, is going to lead to hundreds and then thousands and then tens and thousands and then hundreds and thousands of dollars just slipping through your hands. That more ain't going to do you any good. It's not going to change your life. It's not going to change your financial situation. Unless you are trading with massive sizes, it's not going to do you any good. So with these out the money options, guys, when you find yourself in a position where you have a 50%, 100%, 150% open return, book that shit. You've got to understand that, one, the more you're holding on for is not going to change your life, guys. Let's just be honest. Most of you are not trading with capital where a few extra 100% is going to put you into financial freedom. Be real. The second reason, guys, is that it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all bullshit. They're going to zero no matter what if that stock closes out the money. So you got to ask yourselves, guys, is holding on for more worth it when you think about the risk? And when you think about the fact that even if you get your more, so what? That's tonight's video, guys. Be safe this weekend. Focus Trades family, I am ridiculously proud of you guys this week. We were patient. We were disciplined inside this chop. If you are not already subscribed, guys, go ahead and do that. And you can also check out focustrades.com. $10 a month for the private group. We work hard all day, every day. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.